players will ever wear the number 6. The league will retire the number in honor of the late Bill Russell, who died almost 2 weeks ago. It's the first league-wide retired number. The Ravens host the Titans tonight. Preseason opener for both teams. ESPN's Jamison Hensley believes Lamar Jackson will be on the field for the regular season opener, even without a new contract.
For a player that was even thinking about not stepping on the field in week 1, I think he would probably have been doing what they call the hold-in, report to training camp but not participate in any of the drills. Lamar Jackson has been out there every single day.
Jamison Hensley on Key J and Max. Bills quarterback Josh Allen will sit out Saturday's preseason opener against the Colts. Quarterback Mitch Trubisky will start the preseason opener for the Steelers against the Seahawks on Saturday night. Mason Rudolph and rookie Kenny Pickett will also get some snaps in that game for Pittsburgh.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
If Daniel Jones was drafted by the New England Patriots and put in the same position Mac Jones is, are we seeing the same sort of results?
It's Friday with KJ and Max. It all starts at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Coming to you live from the Ingles Studio. Low prices. Love the savings. And yes, you could join us on the YouTube stream. We had some technical difficulties there with the last stream, so we're getting reconnected up on the YouTube, sportsocracy.com.
I would tell you what happened, but I have absolutely no idea.
Click the live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. All that good stuff.
Sometimes computers do computer things.
Right. Exactly.
I got nothing else.
Hey, we roll on, rolling with the punches here. Jeremy Greene back in with us here in the Sportsocracy. And, Jeremy, you missed the first hour of the program. You spent the afternoon. Well, tell us how you spent your afternoon.
Basically, I was with the people from the Asheville Championship. Coach Dave Odom. It was very cool to meet him. And I got to say something I've wanted to say to him for 25 years.
What's that?
Did you have to beat my team so savagely? When you had Tim Duncan and Randolph Childress, did you have to beat us by 40 every time we touched the floor against you? But he was wonderfully, wonderfully great human. Chris Smith, the new director of the Asheville Buncombe Sports Commission, they were unveiling the field of this year's Asheville Championship, which I'm very excited for. It was a very fun morning. And I greatly appreciate Caleb Peak for pinch hitting for me and allowing me to slide back in here after he got on first.
The Asheville Championship is going to be very cool this year. There's some new things going on around the 2-day college basketball tournament type event. It's not your traditional tournament where you got 8 teams and you crown the champion at the end. It's a 2-day thing. It's going to be on Friday
November
and
11th
Sunday.
and the 13th.
Yes, November 11th is a Friday. November the 13th on Sunday. You'll have 4 teams involved, and you will have the winners of the first matchups play in the championship the next day, and there will be a third-place winner and all of that. And this year, you have Elon, Harvard, and Louisiana, and East Tennessee State's going to bring their fans over the mountain for the Asheville
You had
Championship.
me at East Tennessee State because as somebody that this will be my 4th SoCon tournament, they show up in droves.
Yes, they do.
I think they have buses that are just commissioned for when they do events. It is unbelievable how many people they send to events like this.
It is. So that is the 4-team field this year. It's going to be a great local event. This has been they launched it last year, and I remember we had Princeton and South Carolina and Minnesota, and the 4th team is escaping me.
Western Kentucky, Princeton, Minnesota.
Western Kentucky was the one I was missing.
South Carolina.
Yeah. Oh, it's right there. It's right there on the wall
Yeah.
behind me. I still have the
I
program
actually
up
didn't
from last
look at
year.
that.
Good for you, because I could not remember Western Kentucky to save my life right there.
I can't remember anything. unless it's sports related.
Right, but you'll be hearing more about the Asheville Championship as the event gets closer. We're going to be working with them in tandem to promote the event, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun, as last year's was as well. This is going to be a building event too. Like, this is the you got to.
This is the second year. I mean, this is the
right.
same people that put on the Maui Invitational.
Yes, this is the same people. Dave Odom is on the board of the Maui Invitational, but he's the head of this little Asheville tournament. And Asheville was already considered for this tournament when the shutdown happened. And remember, the Maui came here during the coronavirus shutdown, or when it was coming back.
Correct.
So this was already planned, and they're building this tournament. It's going to get bigger and bigger every year. Better teams coming each and every year. Roy Williams obviously has put his face to this, as he is the ambassador of the Asheville Championship program. So you got Dave Odom, Roy Williams. They're still building a brand here with the Asheville Championship, but we're excited about it. And that Jeremy was at the unveiling of the bracket today.
I was.
With
It
Elon.
was very, very fun time.
Again, Elon, Harvard, Louisiana, and East Tennessee State University.
It will never stop amusing me when people know who I am. Because for the longest time, I was the anonymous guy. Like, who is this homeless person that shows up to these events? Now people are like, hey, I know your name.
Yeah.
Well, that's all
Cool
right.
feeling.
I've been here for a minute. I also have to say something else.
Okay.
I posted this on our social media, and I feel like people are lying to me.
About?
I learned a thing last night.
Oh, this is about the stove.
Nobody ever told me you could lift a stovetop.
Yes.
I had no clue.
Yes. Who didn't know that?
Me nor my wife. Neither
Your
one of us
wife
knew
had
that.
no
She
idea
had
either.
no clue. I did it, and she went, the hell did you just do?
Did you just break it?
Like, did you just break the stove? No.
Great.
I
Stove.
lifted it. And then I spent 2 more hours going, why would you ever do that? Like, why is that a thing that it does? And I still can't figure that out. People are like, well, because you have to clean it. I'm going to be really honest with you. I lifted this thing no less than 20 times last night. There are maybe 4 crumbs underneath this.
I saw
apparatus.
I saw a patch of crumbs in the picture that you posted.
All right, so there were maybe it's more than 4, but it wasn't more than 40. Okay, for somebody that's lived in this house for over a year, and I had no idea you could do that.
But think about it. You rent this place.
I do.
They cleaned it before you moved in.
I'm sure
and
they
in
did.
Just the time that you've lived there, that's how much crumbs fall under that thing. Now, I don't think people lift that and clean it every week, but it's good to have, especially if you need to have the rewiring done.
I put a couple shirts in there. I needed it to do something.
Shirts.
It's a perfect place to store a shirt.
No, you don't put those in there. That's a fire hazard. You put them in the warmer down in the bottom.
Well, it's not a fire hazard at my house.
You put them in the pan drawer that's in the bottom of your. That was the one that blew my mind years ago. Was the drawer that's on the bottom?
That's
a
warmer.
Yeah, it's a warmer.
It's that I knew.
I didn't know that.
That I knew.
I mean, that was years ago that I found that out. But I broke my brain pretty much the way lifting the stovetop broke your brain last night.
And look, there were a lot of people that made a lot of very smart alecky comments to me of, well, how did you not know that? Why would I know that? Somebody said, well, how else would you clean it? You take the eyes out.
Yeah,
and
but then
you
gotta
clean them.
But then you got to scoot your hand up under there.
And I'm
try
not just. Here's the thing. Apparently, you people are sloppier cooks than I am, because I've never gone, man, I wish I could lift that stovetop to clean underneath it. No, it's like ice that goes under the refrigerator. Well, that lives there now. There's a wet spot under the fridge.
You've never been like making a sauce or something and it boiled over and you had sticky stuff fall down in the eye?
I want you to think of the question you just asked me. You just asked me if I've ever been making a sauce. What do you think? I eat out like 6 nights a week.
Yeah, but you love to cook.
I like to cook, and I like to cook about the same 7 things. And most of them involve a grill.
Right. He's really good at the mayonnaise chicken on the grill.
Oh, yeah, that's good. I like the mayonnaise chicken.
He can make a hell of a mac and cheese.
Oh,
Yeah. I've experienced the culinary delights of Jeremy Greene's
That was the shade
skills.
that I was not loving was, well, Jeremy can't cook. Yes, he can.
Yes, he can.
And he did not know this. And I feel like you're being disingenuous saying that you did.
No, I'm not. I live with a bunch of OCD neat freaks, or was raised by some anyway.
Well, here's the thing.
all
You know what
how
I
to
know?
Clean everything.
Well, you know what I know? You know where I found this out? TikTok. Over 1 million people had commented on this video and gone, I had no idea you could do that. Apparently, we learned that the audience of this show is smarter than the average TikToker. Right. Who's shocked?
It's like the millions of clicks that wound up on the one with the girl who pulled the visor over. Pulled the car visor down and then pulled it out to switch it over to the passenger side or to the driver's side window to block the sun when it's not directly in front of you. Like, I had no idea it did that. Yeah, it does.
Well, that one I knew.
There's a reason why it's detachable.
That one I knew. Okay.
We got preseason football tonight, and Jeremy, I know you missed it at the beginning of the program, but I got excited about preseason football for a little bit today.
As well, you should. It's fantastic.
And then Bill Belichick stole it all from me when he told me Mac Jones wasn't going to play.
Who cares? It's New England. They're top 10 most irrelevant team in the NFL, and they catch more airtime than any irrelevant team in any sport.
No doubt.
Do we talk about the Sacramento Kings this much? No.
Is that how bad they are?
They're equally irrelevant.
Well, according to the reports out of camp about the offense, they might be as bad as the Sacramento Kings.
Of course they are. They have Pat Matricia calling plays and Joe Judge.
Right.
He needs to stick to doing King of the Hill and Beavis and Butthead. Mike Judge.
Yeah, good for you.
Wrong Judge.
Good for you.
Wrong Judge.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, and we started yesterday with the college football previews. We're going to go conference by conference, talk about the most interesting teams and storylines from each of the conferences. We started with the ACC yesterday since we are a Tar Heel station. And now today we can talk about the SEC, where football is king.
And there's one school that is king.
Just
it's
one?
Alabama. It's just one.
Just one?
It's just one.
Yeah. Are you sure?
You can enjoy this victory lap from last year. You ain't going to like when you see them.
You ain't going to like what happens to you when you face down with
It's kind of like getting that one when you were the little puny kid, which in my head I'm envisioning you.
Oh, okay.
And you catch the one good sucker punch in the face to the very large kid. I'm thinking, I don't know, me.
Right.
Here's the thing. There's more punches coming, and I'm not liking your chances on that second throw. Alabama's the best team in the country, and I don't think it's all that close.
Yeah. Alabama and Georgia, obviously, last year met up in the SEC championship game. Did not go Georgia's way. Georgia got the payback in the national championship, taking home the crown for the first time since 1980, and Nick Saban's going to be pissed about it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is going to be if you used to watch our Uncensored show, this is going to be the tour. This is the Nick Saban, Aaron Rodgers tour.
Oh, the screw you tour. Yeah.
Hey, y'all watch this.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to see how many points I can score in a game? You want to see me do it again and again and again and again?
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. We'll talk Alabama, Georgia, and, the rest of those SEC teams. Coming up next.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Monfort Avenue. 240 westbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge. Delays due to an accident. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and the French Broad River. 26 eastbound slow between Brevard Road and Airport Road. 26 eastbound then crawling approaching Hendersonville Road to Chimney Rock Road. Future 26 westbound is slow between 240 and Broadway Street due to an accident. 40 westbound slow between the Smoky Park Highway and George's Branch Road. 40 westbound again stop and go between NC 209 exit 24 and US 276. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road stop and go, and Brevard Road north and southbound stop and go between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway near the NC Arboretum. Sweeten Creek Road southbound stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Hendersonville Road southbound is stop and go near Fletcher approaching Fanning Bridge Road. I'm Lyndon Field with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Try Taco Bell's new cheesy double beef burritos now. A melty 3-cheese blend with nacho cheese sauce and double the seasoned beef in classic and spicy. At participating stores for a limited time while supplies last. Prices vary, tax extra. Double the seasoned beef as compared to beefy melt burrito.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a really big tree near your garage. Now, I'm a really big tree on your garage and car. And if you don't have the right insurance, the cost to fix this could leave you wishing money grew on trees. So bundle your home and auto with Allstate to save up to 25% and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected. Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Auto prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
I had low back pain that was due to herniated discs.
Meet Dr. Justin Garzone, another satisfied patient who found regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics.
Over a very short period of time, the pain went away completely, and I have had absolutely no symptoms or pain since my treatment.
Before Dr. Garzone found QC Kinetics, he was looking at all the old school pain treatments.
It was recommended that I have steroid injections done, but then unfortunately my insurance company said that I would have to do 3 months of physical therapy first, and I needed to get better quickly.
With QC Kinetics, the doctor got lasting relief with no downtime.
I didn't have to take any medications during my treatment. I avoided surgery, and I am now pain-free.
Don't live with chronic pain, and don't go under the knife. Call QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, for a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Attention, it's time for the morning announcements. Make sure your parents are aware of the Ingles Tools for Schools program and ask them to link their Ingles Advantage card to our school. Remember, you have to do it each year. Now please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we're here to talk about the reigning, defending national champions in college football.
Mm-mm.
What?
That's not how that goes.
Yeah.
That's not how that goes.
Cowboy hat Bennett.
No, this is how that goes.
Oh, no.
Yeah!
Ugh. Stop that.
Oh, this is going to be bad for you.
Oh, roll Tide. The Alabama Crimson Tide looking for some payback on the Georgia Bulldogs this year. Look, this is – let's just be honest about what the SEC is. This is a two-horse race.
Absolutely.
It's Alabama in the West. It's Georgia in the East, and never will the two meet until the SEC championship game. And they both could be undefeated by that point.
I'm going to say something that's not going to be – it's going to sound strange when it comes out of my mouth.
Okay.
I'm not sure how good the SEC actually is outside of those two schools.
Really?
I mean, Texas A&M is fine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel warm and fuzzy about them.
Not yet.
And if you get past that, who else is even good? I mean, Kentucky's good.
Mm-hmm. Florida's good. Ish.
Are they, though?
Well,
I mean they could be.
It's good. Better than they have been.
There are more question marks in the SEC than there has been in a long time.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
I could make a case for 6 different schools to be the third best team in the SEC.
I could agree with that. Florida would be one of them.
Tennessee, LSU, Texas A&M,
Kentucky,
Arkansas. I could make the case for all 6 of those. And none of them are even in the ballpark of Georgia and Alabama.
No. It's what winning the recruiting battle does for you, and that's why Texas A&M went out and spent $1 bajillion on their recruiting class, even though they said, they didn't do nothing. We didn't cheat.
Well, they're not cheating.
It's not cheating.
They're playing the game.
You're playing the
As
game.
Dale Earnhardt once famously said, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
I look at the SEC East and go, okay, I mean, yeah, Florida's a challenge, always a challenge for the Bulldogs. Tennessee, same thing. They can snipe up and win one every now and then against the Bulldogs. But other than that, I'm not saying Georgia's completely shed the whole list. Last year was magical. But let's not just go out and assume that, the Kirby Smart, Mark Richt, let's lose these games that we're not supposed to lose every now and then. Let's not think that that's completely out the window. This team lost a lot to the NFL draft.
They did, but I just don't see a path. I mean, who are you supposed to lose to? You don't play Alabama in the regular season.
No, that schedule is pretty darn easy.
It's dog water.
You open with Oregon in Atlanta. That should be fun.
When you say that should be fun, I'm going to need you to elaborate on why you said that.
I mean, it could be an interesting game, but I highly doubt it. It's going to be the opener, and it's definitely better than the next week's game against Samford's going to be. But Georgia has a market advantage in that game.
I would agree with that.
All of the talent, all of the coaching, everything leans to the Bulldogs against the Oregon Ducks. You go Samford at South Carolina, Kent State, Missouri, Auburn, Vanderbilt, Florida, Tennessee, back-to-back. That could be interesting. If you're going to slip up and lose, you're going to lose one of those two games.
Do you know what the line is for you in Oregon September 3rd?
Is it Georgia minus 12?
17.5.
17.5.
And I would take Georgia, and I would bet my life savings on it.
There you go. Close out the season with Mississippi State at Kentucky, which won't be easy, and then Georgia Tech.
There are no losses there.
No.
The SEC is literally just, hey, what order are we going to appear in the newspaper, and how long is it until we can get to Georgia, Alabama?
Yes.
That's the SEC in a nutshell.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's in terms of the big picture. You look at it under a little bit more of a microscope. Why do I feel like every team that's not those two are riding an elevator, and half of them are careening to the basement, and the rest of them are steadily rising?
Mm-hmm. There's a giant division.
There is.
Yeah, there's a giant division between the top teams in the league and the bottom teams in the league.
Because I feel like Florida's falling and has been for quite some time.
I don't know. They're at that point where I think they've fallen.
And they can't get up.
I don't know about that. I mean, they like Anthony Richardson. He's going to be a good quarterback this year for them. They feel he's got all this Heisman hype behind him. You got Billy Napier taking over the program. So hopefully you've arrested the free fall.
Here's the thing. Florida has an instruction manual of how they should be able to put themselves back together. The only problem is that vast majority of Florida graduates can't read the instruction manual, so it's going to be hard for them to do. Boom! I'm back.
Good for
Let's
you.
do it. All right.
I apologize. I was being insensitive. I shouldn't say the word arrested while I'm talking about Florida.
Oh, that's Sports Take ESPN. You actually beat me.
Yeah, Arkansas is interesting.
I think Arkansas is on the rise.
Texas A&M is another one. You had the number one recruiting class in the country. You're on the rise.
They're on the rise, no doubt.
LSU
on the rise.
On the rise.
Mainly because Go Tigers is gone.
Ole Miss
on the rise.
On the rise with Lane Kiffin. Like I said, with Florida, Tennessee with Josh Heupel
on the rise.
On the rise. Kentucky, I think you've stalled out where you're going to be.
I tend to agree with that, but you've been on the rise for so long.
Right.
But then you get into I fully maintain Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Auburn is cratering to earth.
Absolutely.
Mississippi State.
Irrelevant
This
completely.
Is not going
Go party in the balcony, guys.
Yeah, let's
Have
go.
fun.
Let's go hook up the fridge and party in the upper
I
deck.
mean, there is a reason why they did that. It wasn't, obviously the instigator of that was because they couldn't get people to show up, so they took out seats. So let's have Drunk Fest in Starkville, Mississippi.
Cousin Colin Greene in the YouTube comment said, Ole Miss on the rise of what? Destruction? I'm going to say this. Ole Miss, to me, might be top 5 most disrespected schools in all of college football.
Mm-hmm.
And I cannot for the life of me understand why.
Because it's gimmicky, I guess. I don't know.
How many schools in the top 25 are gimmicky?
All of them. It's college football. Gimmicks are what we're about.
Lane Kiffin is – finish this statement. Lane Kiffin is a blank coach in college football. Top what?
10.
Easy.
Yeah.
I'd make the argument for top 5.
I don't know that I'm ready to go that far, but he'd be like 6 or 7.
And now he has the best quarterback he's ever had. And you think that's going to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
The comments, Patrick Holt said, also fat.
Also
correct.
Oh, did he backtrack?
Lane Kiffin, his weight fluctuates aggressively.
He's like the Oprah of college football. Missouri.
At Sports Thank ESPN.
Yeah. Missouri, awful. South Carolina, stop it, guys. On the rise. Okay, on the rise from 3 wins. Congratulations.
Good for you.
Good job.
I think
Vanderbilt, irrelevant.
Vanderbilt is they still have a team.
Vanderbilt would be irrelevant in the MAC.
I want to disagree with that, and I can't.
Right. I can't be too hyperbolic about how bad Vanderbilt is as a program. They're the free space on the board for everybody.
I will say this. I feel like the SEC, this will be a down year for the SEC.
Okay.
Relatively.
I
feel like the Big Ten's better. There are more teams in the Big Ten that I feel really good about than I do in the SEC.
Right. Okay.
Now, there are some that I feel like I said, I feel like you're on that upward trajectory. There's not many that I would hang my hat on.
Mm-hmm.
Even Ole Miss that I really like. There's a possibility that you can't play dead in the Western on defense. Okay, yeah, I like Jackson Dart better than Matt Corral. He's still a sophomore.
Yeah, but we'll average 55 points a game.
That's the point,
right.
Is that there is a possibility that you're going to score 411 points a game, and none of it's going to matter.
Exactly. They'll still win games. They won 9 games last year?
I think they won 10 last year.
9 or 10 games
I know they played
year?
in the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah. So Ole Miss is, it's weird that you're nationally relevant, as in top 25, top 20 team, but you're nowhere near what it takes to win the conference. Again, top 2 teams, Georgia and Alabama. Is Georgia making the right call? Sticking with Stetson Bennett?
I've said no for 2 years. You're 5'7" quarterback. It's really cute that you had 43 players on probably the greatest defense in college football history.
Right.
But now the defense will still be good.
Mm-hmm.
But you lost the coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
You lost, 8 starters?
Yep.
I just don't see how that's sustainable.
Georgia has become what Alabama was. Last year proved it. That you can just continue to reload and reload and reload, and now you've done it. Now you've climbed the mountain. You've won the national championship. Now it's time to put your money where your mouth is, see if you can keep this up. Can you keep winning SEC East championships? Can you keep dominating your division? I don't see anything that keeps that from happening this year. And the way they keep winning on the recruiting trail, they are a power that's here to stay.
And that's very true. Like I said, at the top, there's not a lot to talk about. It's Alabama 1, Georgia 2, end of message.
Mm-hmm.
But there are interesting storylines through the rest of this conference.
Yes, there are.
We've got to take a quick break. After that, Tennessee fans, I'm going to say nice things. I have a feeling Tank is probably going to say less nice things. And Florida's here too. If you're a Florida graduate, you should just give us about 12 minutes. And then we'll say nice things.
We'll be back in the Ingles studio right after this on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, a change is coming, but it's not quite here yet. Front marching into western North Carolina, eventually dropping the humidity here Friday night. And the weekend's going to be a much improved forecast for us, but another round of slow-moving storms, some strong or severe tonight. 63 degrees our low and muggy weather, and then mostly sunny Friday, lower humidity, high 80, low 55, 70s for the weekend. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slowing 26 eastbound between Long Shoals Road and Airport Road, 26 eastbound, then crawling between Airport Road and Chimney Rock Road. Early morning accident continues to have the roadways shut down. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound delays between the Smoky Park Highway and George's Branch Road. Again, 40 westbound stop and go between NC 209 and US 276. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road north and southbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Again, Brevard Road northbound and southbound slow between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway near the NC Arboretum. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road slow. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road. Hendersonville Road southbound in the Fletcher area is slow approaching Fanning Bridge Road. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Shop the new appliance truckload event at Lowe's going on now. They have a large selection of refrigerators, ranges, and more from the brands you trust. Plus, get store-wide savings on other in-stock categories. Shop the event online or in-store now while supplies last. Valid through 8/17.
Venture X from Capital One is the travel card for people always asking,
where next?
You earn 10x miles on hotels and rental cars, and 5x miles on flights booked through Capital One Travel, and 2x miles on everything else you buy with Venture X. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
63 Americans a day die by gun suicide. By storing our guns safely, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo, we can give our loved ones a second chance at life. Learn more at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
Roots and wings. The two greatest gifts any parent can give their kid. But when it's time for them to head off to college, there's also groceries, laundry detergent, notebook paper, ironing instructions, and futons that assemble with parts left over. At Ingles, we have all the comforts of home right around the corner. We know that life's biggest steps are best taken with faith and trust in the ones you love the most. Ingles, all the ingredients for family.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Time to get weird. And, maybe I should have saved this one for next hour, but there's always crime stories to tell. This is the weirdest
I have
getaway.
I have double crime stories as well.
This is the weirdest getaway, or near getaway, I guess I should say, that I've ever seen. So over in England, the police were after an 18-year-old who was accused of stealing a car. Kid was wanted on theft charges. His name's Joshua Dobson, and the Greater Manchester Police in July got a search warrant. I guess that's how it works over there in London the same way. or in England, I guess I should say. They go to search the house of this 18-year-old accused thief, and they found it weird that they couldn't find him. And then as they're scouring the house, looking for evidence of where the young lad might have gone, one of the detectives noticed there was a giant teddy bear in the corner that was breathing. So, like, the arms and body is, like, moving up and down. This 18-year-old had ripped open the backside of this giant teddy bear and got inside of it to hide from the police.
That's an aggressive getaway.
I mean, I guess that's next level thinking on your part, kid. I mean, but he was hidden inside a breathing bear, and they went, yeah, found him.
Here's my question. How big was that bear?
Oh, it's ginormous. It's one of those, like, fair bears. You know, you go to the fair and you can win the ginormous teddy bear that Dad now has to drag around during the fireworks at the close of the show, and he hates his life.
Which is awful.
Yeah, that's the teddy bear.
Don't make Dad do that. It's terrible.
That is the teddy bear. Good night. A spokesman for the police force said that he was sought by us after stealing a car in May and not paying for fuel on that same day. When we went to arrest him, we noticed the large bear was breathing, and hopefully he has a bearable time inside prison, inside jail. That he is, and they said he is now stuffed behind bars.
Jingle out.
These are just jokes, folks.
My story is from Riverside, California. A man, unnamed in the story, he had a problem. His condo had a wasp nest in the corner.
Bad news.
Well, he wanted to get rid of the wasp nest. So he took an aerosol can and turned it into a homemade blowtorch.
I mean, set them on fire. I've always heard that.
Yep, that's a bad idea because it caught the outdoor furniture on fire and then burned down his condo. Did $50,000 in damage.
Oh, no.
That story in and of itself is not that ridiculous until you find out what was in the aerosol can.
Was it like hairspray or something?
No, that would make sense. It was wasp spray! You don't have to light it on fire, dum-dum. This is what it's for.
It kills them anyway. You don't have to light it on fire.
The Riverside Fire Department put out a statement that said that is absolutely not how you're supposed to use that. The chemical is an insecticide, and the liquid is supposed to kill them. I read this and went, oh, good Lord, dumb. I didn't notice that until the second time I read it.
Nice.
How do you come to that conclusion?
Pyro.
I have wasp spray. I want to eradicate wasps. End of message.
Right.
Spray them. This guy goes, nope,
he wanted to make sure they suffered.
Not enough. You need to go tell your brethren not to infect my house.
I've heard that's the way you get rid of yellow jackets. Yellow jackets make their nests in the ground. You pour gasoline in the hole. You light it on fire, and you let it burn, and that takes out the nest. You can also go the route of, actual wasp spray.
Yeah,
but it
sounds like
seem to
a
get
lot.
Them all.
That seems a lot less likely for you to, I don't know, die.
Right.
Nobody has ever in the history of time gone, I went to kill a yellow jacket's nest with some bee spray, and I died. I feel like there's at least 100 stories of, I loaded it with gasoline and set it on fire, and now they call me lucky at the bar I go to.
I lost 3 fingers.
Because I only have 6 fingers and 1 leg.
Right.
They make things for this. And you had it in your hand. Just, okay.
Don't try this at home, folks.
And here's the funny thing. That was the weirder of the 2 stories, but not the crimiest of the 2 stories that I have for the day.
All right. Our most important lesson of the day, don't do crimes, coming up in the next hour. We're talking about the SEC, college football, right around the corner.
We are but 2 weeks.
2 weeks away.
15 days.
This is week 0.
2 weeks from tomorrow, in the final segment of all 3 hours of this show, if you've never seen how we pick games around here, it gets a little aggressive.
And you'll have a Green on Green coming up in just a few moments, right? For tonight's NFL preseason games.
Football.
We got the New York Giants taking on the New England Patriots and the Baltimore Ravens and the Tennessee Titans tonight in preseason action. But we're doing the previews of the SEC, and Georgia, Alabama are at the top. Who are the other interesting teams to keep an eye on?
I cannot help but be intrigued by Tennessee. I know that sounds strange. They're plus 5,000 to win the SEC. I get it. If you had to wager, how many teams are ahead of Tennessee according to the current betting odds to win this conference?
5.
It's 3. Alabama, Georgia, Texas A&M.
End of message.
End of message.
Wow.
Because then you have Florida, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Kentucky, all tied at plus 5,000. LSU and Arkansas both plus 6,000. This Tennessee team is good. It's just a question of how good.
Mm-hmm.
The hype on Hendon Hooker, okay, can we stop that? Like, he's going to win the Heisman. Don't take it too far.
Right. Outside chance.
But I do think this is the best Tennessee volunteer team we have seen in
a long time.
I don't remember how long. I don't remember the last time I looked at this team and said you could actually win 10 games.
Yeah, no.
Last time they did it was 2007. That was with Philip Fulmer, by the way.
I was thinking all the way back to the Peerless Price days.
Oh, you're going all the way back to, like, just basically post-Peyton.
Yeah, essentially.
I just look at the schedule and go, in the non-conference, I mean, yeah, you have to go to Pittsburgh. And, yeah, I like a lot of the talent of Pittsburgh. But I'm not sure you don't win that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Ball State, Akron, UT Martin, not worried about any of that. And then you take away the Alabama and Georgia games. Virtually every other losable game is at home. I mean, you're going to go to South Carolina and throttle South Carolina. I'm sorry. You can Spencer Rattler me to death. I could care less. They will go to Columbia and demolish them.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to go to Vanderbilt. You have to go to LSU. That's the other one. I think that's the pivot game for them.
LSU.
They're either going to go 9-3 or 10-2. They beat LSU. They're 10-2. With their 2 losses being to Alabama and Georgia.
Yeah.
Because I just, with the hype that's around this program, I do not see you going into Knoxville and beating them.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're one of the 2 that I've already said.
So Kentucky won't go in
I
there
don't
and
think
beat them.
so. I just think the talent is so common. I look at Tennessee and Kentucky. Those are pretty equal teams. The difference is where it's played.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been said that's about a touchdown difference in college football. Those teams aren't a touchdown different. If it was in Kentucky, I'd take Kentucky. It's not, and I'm not going to.
So you believe in Josh Heupel?
I know it sounds weird to say this, but yeah, I kind of do. I do. And it's nothing specifically he's done. It's just the tenor around the program. And maybe it's been such a disaster for so long that I'm being biased.
Mm-hmm.
Because Derek Dooley was a disaster.
Yep.
His name's
Jeremy Pruitt.
Butch Jones was a disaster.
Yeah.
And Jeremy Pruitt was the disaster. And now I just look at Josh Heupel and go, I killed this hire when you made it. I don't think you got it wrong.
Okay.
I mean, how many teams around the SEC do you feel better about than Tennessee? Definitively. I like LSU because I believe in Brian Kelly. Will I be shocked if it takes a year? No.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also higher on Jaden Daniels than a lot of people are.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's going to come in and be, I'm not going to say crazy good, but very competitive.
Definitively better than Tennessee? Like, I know without a shadow of a doubt that these teams are better. There's 2 of them. It's Alabama and Georgia.
Well, those were a given.
Right,
I meant
but
other than that.
No, there's not one. Because you can make the case. One, because, I mean, are we talking about end-of-season records here? Because they got a chance to be better record-wise than every other team in the SEC West.
They could finish third in the SEC, and it wouldn't shock me.
Yeah.
This could be the third best team in the SEC, and I wouldn't be surprised at all.
On the flip side, this could also be a fourth-place team, and I wouldn't be shocked either.
Fourth in the West.
In the East.
Or
fourth in the
I just don't see a path to that.
Slip up and lose against Florida. It's the big games. Kentucky comes in there, runs the ball, controls the clock, and that defense is able to throw something at Hendon Hooker.
But the problem is that this is where I can't see that. There are a lot of toss-ups with all of these schools. You're going to have to go into Knoxville, which will be louder than it has been in 15 years.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully they won't be throwing things this time.
But no mustard. There's no mustard served at the games. Just ketchup and mayonnaise on your hot dog. I don't see Florida going in there and beating them. In the comments, Chris McCann said the game in Death Valley is not a toss-up. Yes, it is. I don't think people at LSU understand your defense sucks. and you can blame for that. There's one person you can blame. Go Tigers.
Ed Orgeron.
Because this entire program fell apart. Now, I believe in Brian Kelly, and I think there's talent there. But you're coming from a great deficit. That defense was a disaster a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the other thing you got to think about. Look at what LSU has going into Tennessee. All right, you're at Auburn the week before. I'm not saying Auburn's great, but you will have also had to take on Florida State and Mississippi State.
Mm-hmm.
Neither one's great, but that's an accumulation of parts. Tennessee will have played Pittsburgh. Nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
I think that game's very, very close. If it was in Tennessee, I would say they win by more than a touchdown. It's not. And I do think it's a toss-up.
Okay.
But that's how I feel about virtually every team in this conference. South Carolina, you could win 4 games, you could win 7. Wouldn't shock me either way.
Mm-hmm.
LSU, you could win 6 games, you could win 9. I'm not going to be shocked either way. It's just a question of who rises to the occasion and who falters.
The LSU Tigers go from October the 8th all the way to the end of the season. The easiest game they play there is UAB on November 19th. Because you got Tennessee at Florida, Ole Miss, Alabama, at Arkansas, and at Texas A&M to end out the year. You could lose every one of those games, and I would not be shocked. Now, you could also have an electric offense this year, and you win half those games, you're talking about a team that's relevant.
Who do you feel better about than I do? I know you have one.
I don't really.
Because mine's LSU. I like them better than you do. Because I like Jaden Daniels exponentially more than you do.
Right. I mean, you like Ole Miss. I like Ole Miss. I don't think there is one. It would probably be Texas A&M. You have been pounding the drum on Jimbo Fisher's overrated, and it's just not as good as you want it to believe. They want you to believe it is. They've got elite players.
They've got elite freshmen. They've always had elite players.
Mm-hmm.
Since Jimbo's been there, that's never changed.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is he's in over his skis when he comes up against Kirby Smart, Nick Saban, now I think Brian Kelly, Lane Kiffin. I mean, how low can you be in the pecking order of coaches in your own conference and still be considered a threat to anything?
Still got a national championship that nobody else has.
Jameis Winston is on line 1. He would like to talk about that national championship. I watched every second of it, and I'll be honest with you, I never looked at it and said, yeah, this is Jimbo Fisher's doing. I looked at it and went, man, Jameis Winston's special.
Right. That Kelvin Benjamin kid he could really go and get the ball.
He's very tall.
Yeah.
And very difficult to defend.
Right. Texas A&M is probably the one that you're going to continue to pounce on them, and I'm going to continue to say they're still a very talented team, and they will.
Their schedule's also just brutal.
Mm-hmm.
You get Sam Houston in the opener game. Great. You're going to win that 56-0. Then you go Appalachian State, Miami, Arkansas, at Mississippi State, at Alabama, at South Carolina, Ole Miss, Florida, at Auburn. Gross. There's not a bad team there.
No. I mean, Mississippi State.
Bad. Mississippi State's not bad. There's one that all right, just based on what you just said, that's one we disagree on. They're going to be a headache. I'm not telling you they'll be great. I'm not saying they're going to win 8 games. I'm just saying they're going to be a headache.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you have the Pirate, I'm always going to look at you and go, that's not going to be fun.
Right. But it's also not terrifying. Nobody's scared to go and play Mississippi State.
I would just feel better if there was a Vanderbilt around it. I hate that I'm coming off App State, Miami, and Arkansas.
But that's what you get playing in the SEC West. You know you're going to have tough games every week. The East is just a little bit easier. Top 2 teams in the SEC, obviously Georgia and Alabama. There are interesting teams, though. About 7 of them. And then there are teams that just shouldn't even be in this conference anymore. If we're going to continue to do the expansion thing, I think you might be better off just sloughing some of these teams off to the side. Bring in more relevant teams. I would rather this conference have NC State and North Carolina than to have Vanderbilt and Missouri. They're not going anywhere. I'm just saying.
The bottom 2 teams in this conference are locked in, I would say, for the better part of the next 10 years.
Mm-hmm. I mean, unless Vanderbilt starts coming off some of that doctor money.
And they're not going to.
Well, probably not. You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Oh, you've been waiting for this.
Oh, I have.
Coming up next, NFL preseason picks, Greene on Greene, coming up.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 26 eastbound east of Long Shoals Road to Airport Road, 26 westbound then crawling between Fanning Bridge Road and Chimney Rock Road. Earlier accident has this roadway shut down. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and Long Shoals Road. 40 westbound light delays between the Smoky Park Highway and George's Branch Road. On New Leicester Highway, moving towards Patton Avenue at Newfound Road, an accident. Expect delays. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is stop and go. Hendersonville Road, north and southbound, near Long Shoals Road is slow. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road, north and southbound, near Long Shoals Road, slow. And again, Bavard Road, northbound, slow between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway, near the NC Arboretum. I'm Lemon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech. Charging a cell phone can be like getting a booster shot. A booster is given to enhance or restore protection after a primary series vaccination, which wanes over time. Schedule an appointment when you are eligible. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
This week at Macy's, get them all set for back to school with 25% off active gear to add to the rotation and 30% off cool and casual styles from Epic Threads. And check out our big home sale with 10 to 50% off everything you need to refresh your space. Plus, Star Rewards members earn rewards even faster now during Macy's Star Money Bonus Days. Savings off sale and clearance prices, exclusions apply.
Keep listening for the next chance to win your way to our iHeartRadio Music Festival, September 23rd and 24th at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Tickets are on sale right now. AXS.com.
Stream it free on the CW app and CWTV.com.
Brought to you by T-Mobile. Switch to the network with more 5G bars in more places so you can experience your music whether you're streaming from home or from the front row. Plus, customers can get closer to the festival with VIP access, only from the leader in 5G coverage. T-Mobile.
Did you get the Clement Horizon clean last night? I don't want another barnacle incident. Where's Ivan?
Kiki's head of docking operations just jumped ship.
What do you mean he's sailing around the world?
She needs a new marina manager to help keep her head above water.
Yeah, the tide's perfect, but we are slammed.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now.
Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
At Ingles Weather, we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Coffee's for closers, homie. Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
Oh, it feels so good to hear that. It's been forever. Tonight we got 2 preseason games. First one, the New York Giants are a 3-point favorite tonight at the New England Patriots. Over-under is 35. New England's playing absolutely no one. There's not going to be a lot of scoring here. I considered taking New England just because I think this will be so low scoring. Not going to. I think the Giants find a way to get a little offensive rhythm because they need it. And New England right now is just a train wreck. Give me the Giants minus the 3, under the 35. Finally, the Tennessee Titans travel to Baltimore. Baltimore 3-point favorite, over-under 32.5. Does sound like Lamar Jackson's going to play. You'll actually see a few starters for a drive or two in this game. Also, the stat that I have to bring up every preseason. Baltimore's won 20 preseason games in a row. Give me the Ravens minus 3, under 32.5.
Go and do likewise, gents. The money's out there. You pick it up, it's yours. You don't, I got no sympathy for you.
And don't forget, you can take your wagers on preseason action to betus.com. Use the promo code Sportsocracy and get a 125% bonus on your deposit when you create a new account. Sportsocracy, promo code at betus.com. I hadn't done that in a while.
It's been a minute.
Feels good.
It's been a minute.
Feels good. Excited about preseason football.
Oh, I'll be locked in.
Yeah, like I said.
I've already told HWA there will be no cooking tonight. I will be bringing food, and at 7 o'clock we will be gathered around the TV box to consume football.
Yes, indeed. And you have to wait till tomorrow night to get your Jets.
Mill Slayer Zach Wilson and the newest addition, soon-to-be Pro Bowl left tackle Dwayne Brown.
Yeah, congratulations on that, by the way.
Well, I mean, I've heard that for a week. So for me, it was just like, hey, finally. Thanks for getting that done.
Coming up after the Sports Center update, top of the hour, third hour, as always, kicks off with the daily draft. Jeremy and I taking guys not yet in the Hall of Fame.
We were going to do this during Hall of Fame week, and, well, things happened.
Missed it by that much.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, a change is coming, but it's not quite here yet. Front marching into western North Carolina, eventually dropping the humidity here Friday night. And the weekend's going to be a much improved forecast for us, but another round of slow-moving storms, some strong or severe tonight. 63 degrees our low and muggy weather, and then mostly sunny Friday, lower humidity, high 80, low 55, 70s for the weekend. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time-saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 26 eastbound east of Long Shoals Road to Airport Road, 26 westbound then crawling between Fanning Bridge Road and Chimney Rock Road. Earlier accident has this roadway shut down. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and Long Shoals Road. 40 westbound light delays between the Smoky Park Highway and George's Branch Road. On New Leicester Highway, moving towards Patton Avenue at Newfound Road, an accident. Expect delays. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is stop and go. Hendersonville Road, north and southbound, near Long Shoals Road is slow. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road north and southbound, near Long Shoals Road slow. And again, Bavard Road northbound slow between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway near the NC Arboretum. I'm Lemon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples has everything you need for school at prices that won't hold you back. Right now, Staples comp books and number 2 pencils are just 50 cents, and 2 pocket paper folders at just 25 cents each. In-store only. Offer ends 8/27, limit 30. Don't send your kids back to school. Send them forward at Staples. Fall into autumn hiring with Indeed. Their all-in-one solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Sponsor a job and immediately get a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Bill Russell. Players currently wearing number 6, including LeBron James, can keep wearing it, but the number will not be given to any other players. Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins is sent home from training camp today with an undisclosed illness. That makes it unlikely he'll play in Sunday's preseason opener against the Raiders. The Jaguars will host the Browns tomorrow night. ESPN's Dan Graziano.
My bold prediction is that the Jacksonville Jaguars make the playoffs. I know Damian Woody told me earlier in this show that I was nuts, but I think Trevor Lawrence is going to just explode this year. I think Doug Peterson is a great coach and exactly the right coach that they need, and a massive upgrade, obviously, over what they had last year.
Dan Graziano on Get Up. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports the Jets will sign free agent offensive lineman Dwayne Brown to a 2-year contract worth $22 million. Patriots running back and 4-time captain James White retires today after spending his entire 8-year NFL career in New England.
Long summer days call for extra hands. Hire fast with Indeed. Their hiring solution helps attract, interview, and hire candidates. Sponsor a job and instantly receive a short list of quality candidates whose resumes match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Now, your chance at $1,000 and a trip to our 2022 iHeartRadio Music Festival. Text the nationwide keyword LUCKY to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's LUCKY to 200-200.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
And welcome back into the Ingles studio here on ESPN Asheville. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400 and heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. This is the Sportsocracy. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene. And we've got preseason football tonight. Again, New York Giants, New England Patriots, Baltimore Ravens, Tennessee Titans. Or should I say, my 2022 Super Bowl champion, Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, that's exactly how you're supposed to say that.
Thank you.
I had to sprint down the hallway, so I'm trying to...
He's a little out of breath. Okay, I didn't realize you were caught off guard there.
I left my beverage down the down the hallway, and I discovered that about 4 seconds before that camera turned on.
You can catch us on the YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com. Don't forget to click on that live video link. Watch us live each and every afternoon on YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can get into the chat with us. Preseason action started off last Thursday with the Hall of Fame game, which is when we should have done this list or this daily draft, but we were in the midst of all of our divisional drafts.
So we put it off, and now it's here.
Exactly. So today in the daily draft, we'll be drafting guys not in the Hall of Fame, all-time NFL greats who have not been enshrined in Canton.
I get the number 1 pick this time.
Okay.
Which I don't want, because there were 2 guys I want. And I see there's virtually no shot of me getting them both.
Two guys that you want. Okay.
So I'm going to take the one that I've been banging the drum for an extended period of time. It's Torrey Holt.
Man. That's
Torrey Holt. It makes me angry every single year. When the list comes out and he's not on it, I just get
angrier and angrier.
Overly angry.
Mm-hmm.
The minute you let in Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt should have been right behind him.
No doubt. He was the better of the two.
Virtually the entire time.
Uh-huh.
And it just makes me so angry.
That Torrey Holt just can't get the respect for some reason. I don't know what reason that is. I agree with you. Torrey Holt's a fantastic choice, and yes, he was going to be my first.
I'm well aware.
All right. So that gives me back-to-backs. And I don't know. I mean, should I hurt your soul just right out of the gate with first pick?
Well, I mean, you can't take a guy that's not eligible, so.
A guy that's not eligible? Oh, that's right. You gotta be what, 5 years out of the league?
Yeah, what were you about to say, Terrell Revis?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not eligible.
He's not eligible yet.
This is his first year on the ballot.
I thought he was eligible.
Nope. First year on the ballot this year, and he will be no doubt
first ballot Hall of Famer.
Instant lock Hall of Famer.
Okay. Well, if he doesn't count, then I'm going to go with a wide receiver as well.
Oh, I'm going to yell at you for this because I know exactly who it is.
Why? You don't think Reggie Wayne deserves to be in the Hall of Fame?
Honestly, no, I don't.
Why?
I don't. It is so hard for me to look at a receiver, which is one of the hardest positions to get in the Hall of Fame in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
How many years did he spend as the best receiver on his own team?
None.
There you go.
But
and
when
for
you
me,
had Marvin Harrison, I mean, that's
I get it.
So you're going to make this same
You got
argument.
two coverage your entire career.
Okay. So you'll make that same argument when, 10, 15 years from now, Chris Godwin's up for the Hall of Fame.
Sure will.
Okay.
Chris Godwin will never make it to the Hall of Fame. Just throwing it out there.
That.
I feel pretty sure of it.
That. It's still young.
I
It's still
feel
early
pretty
in
good
his
about
career.
it.
We know Mike Evans will be in
He
the
certainly
discussion.
will.
He'll have
He
to wait
certainly
for a
will.
long time because wide receivers have to wait for a long time. And hell, they even made T.O. wait.
Which they should have.
Oh, stop that. There was no doubt he was one of the best in the league. And there's no doubt that Reggie Wayne was one of the best in the league.
Yeah.
Despite the fact.
You got number two coverage your entire career.
He was behind Marvin Harrison. We know this. Marvin Harrison was great. He was elite, but so was Reggie.
Not as sold on that as you are.
I don't even kind of understand that.
Well, I'll put it this way. He finished 13th in voting this year. I don't like his chances, and I don't think it's going to change anytime soon.
Anytime soon. Okay. And then I'm playing full homer here. Rondé Barber. When are they going to put Rondé Barber in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I had a feeling you were going to do that.
I have to.
I had a feeling you were going to do that, and I'm okay with it.
He's one of the best corners in the NFL. He was probably the most feared corner for years in the NFL with that Tampa Bay defense. He gets left behind because it was Derek Brooks and Warren Sapp and John Lynch. And, oh, yeah, Rondé Barber was there. All-time great.
Now, you made this very easy for me, and we're going to combine the draft segment into just the first segment here. Usually it spans two, but
right.
This is one that we just wanted to get to. And, tomorrow we got football, and tomorrow's our first power ranking of the year. So we're combining this into so we can get to the other litany of things that we need to talk about.
Yeah.
So for me, I get my 1, 2, and 3 because you didn't take either one of them.
Okay.
The first one, and this pains me because of who he played for, I consider taking him 1, and I'm dumbfounded that you didn't.
Okay.
Zach Thomas.
It's fine.
Zach Thomas.
He was a fine linebacker.
He was a phenomenal linebacker. I hated seeing him. I hated every time he lined up against my Jets, I hated him.
Mm-hmm.
And that, to me, is really a good indicator of just exactly how good you actually were.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't help it. I've thought it was stupid for years. I'm afraid he's going to end up being what is it, the senior committee or whatever they call that?
Yeah.
He should have been in long ago.
But who got in that you would put him above?
Bryant Young wouldn't have thought about it for even a tenth of a second.
Okay.
That vote would have come to me, and I would have, when I got done laughing, I would have, oh, you were serious. And that's not a slight at Bryant Young. It just, if we're talking about whose turn it was, I'm going to go Zach Thomas and not think about it.
Mm-hmm.
The other one, I was shocked didn't make it in this year. DeMarcus Ware. You're that good of a pass rusher, and you didn't get in on the first shot? Stop.
I can get down with that.
I thought he was a shoo-in. When we talked about this a year ago, I just pinned him in. That's a no-doubter.
But also this year was the makeup. This was the makeup year with Leroy Butler and Sam Mills, and you had to do some cleanup. The unfortunate part of that is somehow the cleanup didn't include Torrey Holt or Reggie Wayne, but still. I'll put Zach Thomas in that category as well. DeMarcus Ware, I'm just not sure first ballot.
Oh, it was a no-doubter to me. But
I'm one of the. I guess I do have a little bit of that. I don't know if you deserve the distinction of first ballot Hall of Famer. There is a little bit of that baseball Hall of Fame voter in me.
Ugh. He's not a first ballot. I can't vote him in. Stop. Hall of Famer, yes or no? Okay. Done.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go back to the wide receiver well here. Sterling Sharp. We have talked about him before. He was a stud with the Green Bay Packers. Unfortunately, his career cut short by injuries. But that was always the knock on Tony Baselli. Was that his
Tony Baselli getting in, I feel like, opens up a bunch of guys.
Absolutely. And Sterling Sharp should be right in the next in line of guys that had some bad injury luck, but he still deserves to be in the Hall.
I don't disagree with you in the least. There are a lot of receivers on this list, and I'm just going to level. He probably would not have been the one I took there.
Okay.
But I'm not mad that you did.
You're not mad that I did because at least I'm making the mistake.
No, I'm not going to make fun of you. Let's put it that way. That's
thank you for being generous.
I think it was a little early, but, it's fine.
A little early?
Correct.
Okay. And then I'm gonna go back to my childhood, my early childhood, my early football watching days. Roger Craig deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Guy was an utter champion and an absolute beast running the football.
I don't disagree. It's just hard for me to get revved up about running backs. I mean, when Eddie George can't even sniff a ballot, I kind of look at this and go, okay, running back, it is virtually impossible to get in the Hall of Fame.
Right. He was one of the best running backs in the 1980s.
Oh, I agree.
And, I mean, it was just, he was iconic. For how many guys do you know from that era that haven't gotten their call yet that were as good as Roger Craig? 3-time Super Bowl champion. Granted, he was surrounded by a lot of talent with the San Francisco 49ers, but still.
I feel like this is where I distance myself from you.
Okay.
Especially in this market.
Okay.
Andre Johnson and Steve Smith Sr.
Steve
if I'm
Smith.
going receivers, I'm going all-around receivers, and that's 2 of them.
Yes.
That's 2 of the great all-around receivers in the history of this game.
Andre Johnson is just one of those guys that people just forget how
he
elite
was the
he was.
best receiver in the NFL for 3 solid years.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that was before Calvin Johnson showed up. I get that. But you forget, and I don't know why. I guess it's because he was in Houston.
Yeah. I mean, it's just what have you done for me lately? And Andre Johnson was the best receiver in the league for a few years, but then you had an otherworldly all-timer like Calvin Johnson steal all of the thunder. He also had to contend with guys like Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne. And
I also think he was a victim of not being a shameless self-promoter. He was one of the quietest guys in the NFL. And I think that burns him.
I can get down with that. Who was better, Andre Johnson or Terrell Owens?
You're not going to like my answer. I would say it's Andre Johnson.
I would say it's really close. I would still give the edge to T.O.
See, for me, I factor in the headache.
But that's what I'm saying. That was the difference. T.O. was everywhere. You knew T.O. inside and out. Whether you thought he was crazy or not, he was getting headlines. And of course, he wasn't stuck in Houston, of all places to play. But still, he was a character. We knew him. And that's kind of how the Hall of Fame goes. If you can be really great at your job, but also a character, you're going to get way more motivation for the Hall of Fame, for gathering the vote.
And Steve Smith in this market specifically needs
I'm really ticked that you went Steve Smith on me.
I gave you 2 shots.
Yeah, you did. Quite fair.
So you have one more pick. Before we do the undrafted free agent.
Free agent. I got to pick one more. Does Joe Thomas count?
No, because this is his first year on the ballot.
This is his first year on the ballot?
The upcoming year. Of which, by the way, all of these guys, sorry about your luck, but you don't really have much of a shot for about 3 solid years.
Who's next?
In the next class?
Yeah.
Revis and Joe Thomas are the 2 that I remember. Because they're absolutely zero doubt. That whole discussion should be Darrelle Revis. And, okay, we're done talking. Joe Thomas. And 2 out of 5. All right, we've got 3 left.
All right, my last pick here before the UDFAs, Jared Allen, old number 69. That's a guy who I'm kind of shocked is not in the Hall of Fame yet.
And I think that falls into he was in Minnesota and Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
It was just 2 really nondescript places. And I think that gets him.
And he was the best pass rusher in the league. I will say spottily. Because you got to remember that time, too. I mean, like, that's the years of Julius Peppers in Carolina. And he would make the short list of best pass rushers in the league. But I think only 1 or 2 years, like especially after he had the, 20-sack year, we went, okay, now he's the best. But then he regressed, and he flashed as the best in the league. So Jared Allen. All right, UDFA time.
Mine's a no-doubter, and I feel very sure you're not going to say it.
I'm not going to. I have my own little pick here. I'll just let you choose your guy.
Devin Hester.
That's a really good one. Specialist player. Much like my UDFA. It's Mike Alstott. He's the greatest fullback in NFL history. At least in modern NFL history.
Daryl Johnston would like to talk, but
I never felt that.
He's the best ball-carrying fullback
in
NFL history.
Yes.
That I will give you.
Yes.
Great player.
There was nothing like the A-Train. You were inside 2-3 yards. Problem was, some of the time that Mike Alstott was in Tampa Bay, we weren't good enough to get within 5 yards.
That's a good point.
But when we did, you knew the ball was going to the A-Train, and there wasn't a defense in the world that could stop him. Once he set his sights on the end zone, he was getting in. So Mike Alstott, to me, he deserves consideration for the Hall of Fame, but because he played one of the most
unheralded positions.
Thank you. Took the word right out of my mouth. Unheralded positions in the NFL. He's not going to get into the Hall of Fame. He'll be one of those, Veterans Committee guys down the road. All right, so your UDFA.
Devin Hester.
Devin Hester. greatest kick returner in history.
And will be the only kick returner to ever get in the Hall of Fame. Because now, who is actively the best kick returner in this league?
Oh, gosh.
There you go. Point proven.
Yeah. Is it still Andre Roberts? Let's see.
He's up there.
He's up there. So Jeremy gets Torrey Holt, Zach Thomas, DeMarcus Ware, Andre Johnson, Steve Smith, and Devin Hester. You win. Reggie Wayne, Rondé Barber, Sterling Sharp, Roger Craig, Jared Allen, and Mike Alstott for me. Daily Draft is done. We got more football to talk about up next here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Heavy volume on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge, especially on the westbound side. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and Long Shoals Road. An accident near Airport Road has the right lane blocked. 26 eastbound slowing between Airport Road and Hendersonville Road. Again, 26 eastbound crawling between Hendersonville Road and Chimney Rock Road due to an early morning accident still having the roadway shut down. 40 westbound delays between the Smoky Park Highway and Georges Branch Road. New Leicester Highway eastbound near Newfound Road, heavy delays due to an accident. Sweeten Creek Road southbound and northbound approaching Mills Gap Road slow. Sweeten Creek Road delays between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Hendersonville Road southbound stop and go between the Oak Park area and Fletcher. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road north and southbound approaching Long Shoals Road delays. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Tyson Furniture.
At Tyson Furniture, we have a huge selection of furniture, honest values, and great service. We're a big store, and Black Mountain has wonderful restaurants and interesting shops to explore. Visit us at Tyson Furniture in Black Mountain, where beautiful homes begin.
There's a lot of talk about the COVID-19 vaccines, and everyone has an opinion. So I went to somebody I already trusted, my doctor. Talk to your doctor or healthcare provider and make the decision that's right for you. Go to getvaccineanswers.org for the latest information. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
People who call QC Kinetics are pretty much fed up with joint pain.
It's to the point where it's affecting their quality of life. Maybe they can't pick up their grandchildren anymore, or golf, or play tennis, or walk with their friends.
Dr. Justin Garzone, medical director at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, giving lasting joint pain relief with no drugs, no steroids, and no surgery.
The great thing about our therapies, there isn't any downtime. There's no side effects, so patients can get our treatment and continue on with their day-to-day life.
And Dr. Garzone speaks from experience. He had excruciating back pain and got relief at a QC Kinetics clinic.
Over a very short period of time, the pain went away completely, and I've had absolutely no symptoms or pain since my treatment.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Roots and wings. The two greatest gifts any parent can give their kid. But when it's time for them to head off to college, there's also groceries, laundry detergent, notebook paper, ironing instructions, and futons that assemble with parts left over. At Ingles, we have all the comforts of home right around the corner. We know that life's biggest steps are best taken with faith and trust in the ones you love the most. Ingles, all the ingredients for family.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
It's the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Yeah, Jeremy gets Steve Smith. He wins.
Yeah, I feel
he's got to be one of my all-time favorite wide receivers in the NFL. Just personality-wise, looking at the game, it's an all-time gamer.
Good commentator,
and
too.
To think the way that he just erased that stain on the number 89 in Carolina after the Ray Caruth thing. It's just always an interesting little twist to the Steve Smith story.
I'd never even thought of that.
Yeah. Number 89, Ray Caruth, they gave Steve Smith the number immediately, and nobody ever attached Ray Caruth to that again because Steve Smith was that good. It is the Sportsocracy, and there is preseason football coming up Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday this week. Even if your team's not playing, you know you're going to be watching.
Oh, yeah, this is not a good weekend to need much of anything from me. Because I'm going to be locked in on football. I don't care this preseason.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care that Malik Willis is starting for the Tennessee Titans.
There's still intrigue there. There's still to see, does he look different than he did at Liberty?
He's a player that does intrigue me. That is something I am looking forward to seeing tonight because I don't see a path that he plays less than a half.
I would agree with that.
I mean, because he's currently listed on the depth chart behind, obviously, Tannehill, but he's listed behind Logan Woodside, too. So I kind of struggle to believe that you're going to put the backup, the actual backup in against the future construction workers of the NFL.
No, that's where rookies get to cut their teeth. It's the most interesting thing about preseason to me is seeing the rookies. How do they look? I said the other night after the Hall of Fame game, I was impressed with what I saw out of Zamir White. He played against mainly the threes.
That's what you always have to be careful of.
But still, it was good to see him in an actual NFL uniform out there doing good stuff.
This is one of the things that I will caution people of what they're going to see tonight. Baltimore is historically a team that will say they take the preseason a little more seriously than everybody else.
Mm-hmm. The kids may say DJAF.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
It took me a minute.
He got it.
Baltimore takes that's why they've won 20 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see a path that you're seeing Malik Willis against the ones and twos, and that's not going to go well for him. Just have to not overreact. Just a rookie that was far away from being ready to play.
Right.
As soon as I saw that story, I went, oh, God, I can see tomorrow's headlines today.
Mm-hmm.
Malik Willis, 8 of 24.5 against Baltimore's backup defense. Was he a wasted pick? Take your answer off the air.
No, you got to give him time to. You got to give him time to develop. You got to give him time to show. I mean, you will see something. He is a guy that will give you something every game.
And then there's another side of that.
There's the window.
There's another side of that as well. If he hits some deep, I call this the Mark Sanchez rule. I'm sure non-Jet fans do not remember this.
Okay.
When we drafted him out of USC, he came in and played in the first preseason game. I'll never forget this. It was at MetLife. First pass he ever throws as a Jet in an actual game is an absolute moonball for a touchdown.
Uh-huh.
Every Jet fan lost their minds. Nothing matters. All about the Sanchez. And that hung around for about half a year.
Mm-hmm.
Even with him starting real, honest-to-God NFL games, people would still talk about that throw in the preseason. Don't ever react to that either.
People get excited about the flash plays. It's what we want to see. It's why we have seen over the years all of the rules against defensive players hitting offensive players. It's the flashy offensive plays that people remember. There are still people talking about Zach Wilson and his big splash plays.
As well they should be.
Well, I'm not saying that there's something bad about it.
Best arm in the NFL.
Oh, stop.
Future
that's
Hall
what
of
we're
Famer.
talking about. That's the kind of thing we're talking about. Stop getting your hopes up so much. Just because your team signed a left tackle today doesn't
We
mean...
didn't just sign a left tackle. We signed 2022 Pro Bowl left tackle Dwayne Brown.
Yeah. Dwayne Brown is now going to take over in New York because Mekhi Becton is never going to amount to anything.
You're not wrong.
Right. You can hang that up. All the hope that you had after seeing the video that came out of him jumping out of the pool.
Oh, he was the one that ran a 5'4" 40 at 6'8", 340 pounds.
No, he was the hype
Or
video.
5'2".
He was the pre-draft hype video pulling the truck.
Yes. Yeah, maybe he shouldn't have pulled so many trucks.
Right. It was Tristan Wirfs that did the leap out of the pool.
Maybe don't pull trucks.
Right.
Maybe just make sure the old body's right.
We got a rumor going around the NFL, though, that one team could take a major hit. And Jeremy and I have both had high hopes for this team so far this season. Just what's happening down there in the Big Easy. We'll talk about that up next, right after we give you the most important message of the day. Don't do crimes.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, a change is coming, but it's not quite here yet. Front marching into western North Carolina, eventually dropping the humidity here Friday night. And the weekend's going to be a much improved forecast for us, but another round of slow-moving storms, some strong or severe tonight. 63 degrees our low and muggy weather, and then mostly sunny Friday, lower humidity, high 80, low 55, 70s for the weekend. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Heavy volume on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge, especially on the westbound side. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and Long Shoals Road. An accident near Airport Road has the right lane blocked. 26 eastbound slowing between Airport Road and Hendersonville Road. Again, 26 eastbound crawling between Hendersonville Road and Chimney Rock Road due to an early morning accident still having the roadway shut down. 40 westbound delays between the Smoky Park Highway and Georges Branch Road. New Leicester Highway eastbound near Newfound Road, heavy delays due to an accident. Sweeten Creek Road southbound and northbound approaching Mills Gap Road slow. Sweeten Creek Road delays between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Hendersonville Road southbound stop and go between the Oak Park area and Fletcher. Near Avery Creek, Pavard Road north and southbound approaching Long Shoals Road delays. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Try Taco Bell's new cheesy double beef burritos now. A melty 3-cheese blend with nacho cheese sauce and double the seasoned beef in classic and spicy. At participating stores for a limited time while supplies last. Prices vary, tax extra. Double the seasoned beef as compared to beefy melt burrito.
Betting on baseball can be a grind, but VEASAN has a podcast that can help. VEASAN's Baseball Betting Show with host Greg Peterson.
I think it's just so important when taking a look at this run line is taking a look at the home and road splits.
Greg goes through every game on the slate and gives you his betting analysis.
This is a spot in which I did wind up setting my total at 8.3 with the way that Consola has been pretty unhittable. And keep in mind, this is still a night game out there in Los Angeles. Ball not necessarily flying.
Listen to the Baseball Betting Show with Greg Peterson on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
PhD weight loss is the perfect way to lose weight and lose it pretty quickly. 6 months of doing the PhD weight loss program, just a little over, and I have lost over 80 pounds. All you have to do is just follow the plan that they give you. They give you 80% of the food that you need to have success on the program. You follow their diet, no strenuous exercise. You don't have to walk like a dog like that trainer from Indiana. All you have to do is follow the plan, and you're going to lose the weight.
I didn't have as much weight to lose as Tank. I had always been reasonably athletic. One of the problems I had run into was my back was starting to hurt and I wasn't sleeping well. 6 months, I'm back to my high school weight. I'm sleeping like a baby and the aches and pains have gone away.
If you are an athlete looking to lose some pounds, it's great to have a program that was designed for athletes by a former athlete. Dr. Ashley Lucas has the perfect plan. Go to myphdweightloss.com. PhD Weight Loss, the official weight loss program of the Clemson Tigers and their fans.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, Low prices. Love the savings.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelley Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
All right, it's time. Don't do crimes. The most important lesson you learn each and every day here from the Sportsocracy. And my story today comes to us from that lovely little peaceful city called Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Southwest Philly was on alert yesterday morning when police surrounded a stolen FedEx truck. 47th Street and Pascal Avenue. The SWAT team surrounded the FedEx truck just before noon after witnesses told police that a man had locked himself inside the back of it. So police needed to get inside. They deployed their flashbang devices, and they were able to open up the back of the truck. The problem is there was no one inside.
David Copperfield.
So either David Copperfield is out here stealing FedEx trucks, or it was just an erroneous report that there was someone inside. I can't believe that there was a standoff in the middle of Philly surrounding a FedEx truck, and they didn't verify that there was someone inside the back. So how did he escape?
David Blaine.
Did he have a Harry Potter invisibility cloak? Was Chris Angel Mind Freak the suspect?
Did you ever get into that?
I did. I loved it.
Oh.
I loved that TV show.
I never understood. You realize this is all an optical illusion, right? Like, do you not know how mirrors work? I almost said a bad word right there. This guy cannot just disappear randomly, but it's the illusion. Yeah, I'm good.
He can't walk from the top of a hotel down to the ground?
No.
Really?
No, he cannot.
He didn't do that?
No.
But I saw it on my television.
That what was the name of that show? The Magician's Code, where the masked magician would show you how all the tricks were done.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
There was that whole magician wave of the that was like 2009-ish?
No, it was earlier than that. I was still in school when that show was on.
Was it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'll never forget that.
Look,
because I thought that guy was so great. Thank you for putting an end to all this stupidity. Look at the magic. I have 2 crime stories because I could not differentiate which one I wanted to tell.
Okay.
Of course, this story came from Florida. It's about a 42-year-old woman named Rachelle Wright who has been in a relationship with a man for 20 years. They share a child, and apparently over the weekend they got a couple beers in them, and they got a little angry, and they had a bit of an argument.
Okay.
I can't put my finger on where the crime happened here. Maybe you can clue me in. Miss Wright became angry and threw something at the mate.
Assault.
I'm not done yet. While he was sitting on a chair, it missed him, hit the armrest of the chair, and the wall behind him. It never actually hit him.
Still assault.
For throwing something at someone.
Mm-hmm.
How does that work?
Mm-hmm.
That's not assault.
It is.
That's a poor throw.
Textbook definition. Assault is throwing something at someone. You don't have to hit them for it to be assault.
In my America, you do.
Yeah.
What she threw is what makes this funny. Apparently, she was making dinner, and this argument happened as she was doing as such.
Okay.
So as opposed to getting angry and throwing something of some real force, she threw a steak at him. It stuck to the wall, and he called cops. She threw my dinner against the wall. Do you still eat it?
Depends on what kind of cut it was.
You're a gross human being sometimes.
I'm just saying, if it was like a skirt steak or something, don't get your panties all in a twist. But
So
she's throwing filet mignons. Let's go. Police called right there. That's larceny.
The uncooked steak was funny. This is bizarre, to say the least.
Oh, wait. She hadn't cooked it yet?
No, it was uncooked.
Then, no, absolutely I'm eating that thing. Throw it in the pan. It'll burn the germs.
You're a gross human being. One person was arrested after a brawl in Northern California on Saturday. Now, the weird part of this is that it happened in a cemetery at the funeral of an elderly relative.
Oh.
This is how bad this got. So they called this a chaotic altercation and was a case of bad blood between a brother and sister that goes back many years. Apparently, the sister was, or there's no report of how old the sister is, but the male suspect was 36 years old. Apparently, he and the sister were talking when the conversation took a turn for the worse. And the sister's boyfriend felt the urge to jump in to the fray, which led between 8 and 20 family members to just start throwing haymakers.
Oh,
They
man.
knocked over the casket.
Of course they did.
The body fell out of said casket. Then the suspect jumped into his vehicle, drove on the grass over headstones, broke a water main, and flooded the funeral director's grandmother's plot.
Oh.
That is the most trailer park thing I've ever heard in my life. How what? You're at a funeral. Yeah. I don't care how bad you don't like it. First of all, don't drive on people's graves. It's weird. Just don't do that. It's there's a person in there.
Yeah.
But it gets weirder from there. Apparently, the reason that he drove the car over the headstones is because he had done a big circle because he was trying to run his sister over.
Oh, that's never a good thing.
Then he ends up striking another female relative who suffered non-life-threatening injuries, and that is when the casket was knocked over. Family member fell out of the casket, and now we're into full pandemonium.
Satisfied Browns fan wants to know, are you sure this wasn't in Alabama?
Or West Virginia. Nope, this was in California. Northern California, which if you've ever been to California, that should be two different states.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
New York, California. Stop calling those all one state because they're not.
Right, split them apart.
Split them apart because all the crazy people live on one side.
Right, upstate New York as opposed to the city.
Crazy people live in the city.
Yep, down south.
Crazy people live in Northern California, and people that just don't care about anything live in Southern California.
Wait, I thought it was the opposite.
No, all the pretty people live in Southern California. I actually dated a girl.
But I thought that's what made them
dated
crazy.
a girl from Northern California, secret time, one that put cigarettes out on my couch.
Oh, from Northern California.
Bingo.
Interesting. I did not know that the northern half of California is where the crazies were. I thought it was in the southern half.
It's a whole different ballgame. I met her family and went, I don't think this is going to work.
Don't do crimes. Don't do crimes at funerals. That's just never a good idea.
I want to know what he was charged with. It does not report it. He was arrested.
I mean, he's got to be charged with attempted murder, reckless driving, desecrating a grave. I'm sure that's still against the law even in California.
Sports Status said it sounds like this would be someone from Texas doing this. There are about 8 states where the vast majority of the stories in this segment come from.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Florida's 60% by itself. Texas, California, New York, they account for probably another 30%.
Right.
And then you get the stray Alabama, West Virginia. That's about it, actually.
Yeah.
And end of message.
Pretty good. Down in New Orleans, there's a rumor going around that Jameis Winston's foot injury is more serious than the team wanted to let on. Maybe they're just now discovering this, but there's been no official word on this. I've just heard the rumblings that he could need surgery on the foot, and that would be somewhere in the ballpark of a 6 to 8 week absence from the New Orleans Saints.
I'm going to say the same thing about this that I said about Alvin Kamara. All right, so this morning, Armchair Commentary and I filmed another episode of the Mullet Man and Canada, and we're talking about running backs in fantasy football. And I said I don't care if Alvin Kamara is suspended for 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. It changes nothing for me because it's a very bad start to the year. They play Seattle. They play Carolina. They have 3 games that if they show up with the fleur-de-lis on the side of their helmet, they will win these games.
Okay.
I don't care. If it's that big of a deal, get it done now. The thing that's unsettling to me is that that's been swirling, and they don't seem in any rush to do anything. That either means that the report is not true, which is entirely possible, or they're trying to figure out the situation. Because about the time week 6 happens, you better have Jameis and you better have Alvin Kamara. Because the script flips from there. Still not the most daunting schedule you've ever seen. I feel like they got about as many breaks as you could ask for. But that's where it goes from, all right, Saints win the division, which you and I both think.
Yes.
Or you miss the playoffs entirely. If you're going Andrew Dalton in that meaty portion of the schedule, I don't like that at all.
I don't either. I don't think anybody should be looking forward to that. Today, the New Orleans Saints did sign, or I guess this was yesterday, they signed KJ Costello to add to the depth chart. So, I mean, that might send you a signal that they're going to need some depth at the position, so it would make sense to make a signing like this.
All right, maybe
if Jameis is going to miss time.
Maybe I'm being a conspiracy theorist.
Okay.
But hear me out. KJ Costello had his greatest game against who? It was LSU. Threw for 7 billion yards.
Yeah.
LSU is in Louisiana. So is New Orleans. That state tends to believe in voodoo and things like that far more often than anybody else does.
I see where you're going with this.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Just saying.
Okay, so they're just trying to change their fortunes here. Trying to exorcise some demons.
I think Jameis is going to be fine from everything that I've heard.
I would hope so. I have said that I feel like we should have high hopes for him this year. But it's not going to be
as long
pretty.
as you don't get to Ian Book, I don't care. As long as by the time we get to the meaty portion of the schedule, you're back to Jameis Winston, you'll be fine.
Okay. Will it be a 6 to 8 week absence for Jameis Winston? What would be the effect of that? You don't think it's drastically different?
No.
Their outcome of the season?
I mean, just looking at the schedule, there's not a lot there.
The problem is, for New Orleans, if this does happen, it puts you closer to losing games. I don't think there's any question of that. Jameis, hands down over Andrew Dalton, correct, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you're closer to losing games. You're going to need all of them. You're going to need all of the wins that you can to win this division.
Well, I mean, I guess that's what I'm saying, is that you open with the Falcons. You're winning that game no matter what happens. At the Panthers, I think you're winning that game no matter what happens. Seahawks, and then you have the Bengals, Vikings, and Buccaneers. I don't think you're winning 2 of those games regardless. Which 2? I would say you probably beat Minnesota, you probably lose to Tampa Bay, you probably lose to the Bengals. Then it flips when you play the Cardinals on a short week in the week that they get DeAndre Hopkins back. Then you go Raiders, Ravens, Steelers, Rams, 49ers, Bucks. As long as he's back for that, I don't really care.
But if it's an 8-week absence, I could see them losing to Minnesota. I could see them losing a tough one to Arizona. I don't know. Maybe they get the boost from DeAndre Hopkins coming back.
That Minnesota game is in London, and you've got a young coach, new offense. A lot of things are going against Minnesota in that game.
Yeah, maybe so. I'm just saying it puts you closer to losing games, and when Jeremy and I did our preseason predictions, I think we both had them 12-5. Tied with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and winning the tiebreaker. So you need every game.
It's a very tight division.
Exactly. You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Coming up next, Jeremy's going to be mad.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slow, 26 eastbound between Long Shoals Road and Airport Road. 26 eastbound, then crawling east of Airport Road to Chimney Rock Road. Early morning accident still has this roadway shut down near Chimney Rock Road. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and Long Shoals Road. 40 westbound delays between the 26-240 split, Malfunction Junction, and George's Branch Road. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road north and southbound, approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Again, Hendersonville Road southbound is stop and go between the Oak Park area and Fletcher. Sweeten Creek Road southbound, stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You might not have the biggest garage on the block, but with eBay Motors, there's 122 million parts right at your fingertips. Whatever you need, there's something that fits your vehicle. Air filters, tires, seat covers, and more. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
Research shows listeners don't like it when ads interrupt their music. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customizes home insurance, we made this ad optional. If you want to skip this ad, remove your left earphone. Liberty Mutual customizes home insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
If you're missing this informative ad, you must love wasting your cash.
It's the easy and smart way to save.
Now it's all been said, so if that earphone was out, put it back in your head.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hi, I'm Chad Greenway. After retiring from the NFL, I've embraced my new role coaching my kids in their youth sports. Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to train, screen, and educate all of our basketball coaches. Visit trustedcoaches.org to learn more. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
Roots and wings. The two greatest gifts any parent can give their kid. But when it's time for them to head off to college, there's also groceries, laundry detergent, notebook paper, ironing instructions, and futons that assemble with parts left over. At Ingles, we have all the comforts of home right around the corner. We know that life's biggest steps are best taken with faith and trust in the ones you love the most. Ingles, all the ingredients for family.
Dirty Turkish back flat. I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore. Back flat.
Good. Let the hate flow through you.
This is usually a segment where I take some story that has ruffled my feathers across the sports industry and I go ballistic about it. Well, today I can't do that because today I'm not mad. I'm happy.
Nice.
Because the NBA did something that makes sense. They announced right about the time this show started that they will honor the legacy of Boston Celtics legend Bill Russell by retiring the number 6 across the league for all 30 teams. Obviously, the players that are wearing it now are going to be given some grace period to change numbers, whatever the case may be. This is exactly what you should have done. I said the same thing when Major League Baseball retired Jackie Robinson's number. Mm-hmm. There are some people that just transcend your game. There are just some people that do things that the lasting effect of it deserves to be known through the eons, and it has a little to do with what they did on their field of play, but it has far more to do with what they did outside the field of play, which is exactly what Bill Russell did. So I usually bang on Adam Silver for the litany of things that he does that make my head hurt, but you got this one right. I'm not mad.
Number 6 retired forever in the NBA. I think they should do the same thing for Michael.
I don't.
Why?
Because it's different. It's different. Michael's contributions were all on the floor. This is just different.
Okay.
It's the reason that you retire Jackie Robinson's number in baseball and you don't retire Babe Ruth's.
Mm-hmm.
This is not about you being the greatest player of all time. This is about you being the greatest ambassador of the game, doing things that transcend the sport, and that legacy should be held close for eons.
Okay.
And trust, it's not a slight. It's a different contribution to the world, to the league on the whole, and that personifies Bill Russell. It personifies Jackie Robinson.
Okay, I can wrap my head around that.
There have not been many athletes in the history of time that I can say that about. This is one of them. And the fact that they did it right around 2 weeks after he passed, phenomenal.
I've always been on the bandwagon as well, though, that the NFL should do the same thing for Jerry. Jerry Rice, retire the 80. Nobody else can wear it.
Yeah, I'm not in on that one either.
You're just not in on it.
I'm not in on that one either.
On the field achievements don't get you into the across-the-board category.
The saddest part of this is that they didn't do it while he was still alive. And then I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not sure that's not better this way. I'm not sure that that's not the way he would have wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that I don't need the day. He was never that way, at least from what I saw. Right. I'm sure there's probably people close to him that would say, man, maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you've read that wrong. He always struck me as somebody that did what he did in life for the greater good and not necessarily for the accolade that came along with it. Another thing that I will respect for the rest of my life.
Well, speaking of GOATs, the greatest of all time weight loss program has to be the PhD weight loss program. Hey, what? Come on. Is that too much of a stretch? I don't think so. When you have proven results like PhD weight loss has, you deserve to be in some kind of GOAT status. Since Thanksgiving, I have lost over 80 pounds with PhD. I am now a slimmer, trimmer Tank Spencer, much more healthier, and it's all because Dr. Ashley Lucas has the perfect plan to help you erase the visceral fat in your body.
Today, with the guys at the Asheville Championship, I got to do that thing that I love so much. See the look on people's faces when they haven't seen me in a while. Oh, wait a minute. There used to be markedly more of you. I'm back down to my high school weight, back to my athletic ways, and it's all thanks to the plan and program of PhD Weight Loss.
PhD Weight Loss has the plan to help you drop the pounds, do it quickly, and hopefully keep the weight off for good. That's what the program's all about. It is unlike any other program I have ever tried. I highly recommend it. PhD Weight Loss is the official weight loss program of the Clemson Tigers and their fans. Visit them today at myphdweightloss.com. Enjoy the preseason football tonight, folks. We got 2 games tonight. You got several games tomorrow night, including Jeremy's Jets, which I know he's all excited about.
Jeremy and the Jets.
Preseason football is going to be fun. We'll talk about all of those games. We'll have Jeremy's picks of the day coming up tomorrow as well for those preseason matchups. We'll also do our preseason power rankings of the NFL. We'll see you back here in the Ingles studio at 3.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, a change is coming, but it's not quite here yet. Front marching into western North Carolina, eventually dropping the humidity here Friday night. And the weekend's going to be a much improved forecast for us, but another round of slow-moving storms, some strong or severe tonight. 63 degrees our low and muggy weather, and then mostly sunny Friday, lower humidity, high 80, low 55, 70s for the weekend. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving slow, 26 westbound west of Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound crawling between Fanning Bridge Road and Chimney Rock Road. Early morning accident at Chimney Rock Road. Continues to have 26 eastbound shut down at Chimney Rock Road. 40 westbound delays between the 26-240 split Malfunction Junction and George's Branch Road. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road north and southbound, expect delays between Long Shoals Road and Clayton Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound, stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Hendersonville Road southbound, slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road. And again, Hendersonville Road southbound, delays between the Oak Park area and Fletcher. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Try Taco Bell's new cheesy double beef burritos now. A melty 3-cheese blend with nacho cheese sauce and double the seasoned beef in classic and spicy. At participating stores for a limited time while supplies last. Prices vary, tax extra. Double the seasoned beef as compared to beefy melt burrito.
To some, a baby's babbling doesn't mean much, but it does. Especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Learn more at autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.